Colorado High School Activities Association basketball is on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Tonight from Englewood High School, it's a Colorado 7 league clash as the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Englewood Pirates. I'm John Beltran, and welcome to Englewood High School as the Mustangs go into the game with a 4-1 league record, 6-10 overall, but they've won 3 in a row, easily their longest winning streak of the year. And it shows that Englewood is 1-1 in league play and 3-10 on the season. All right, for the visiting Mustangs, the starting lineup tonight includes Grayson Garver, Trey McBride, and Luis Garcia, the 3 seniors, along with sophomore Caden Edson and junior Isaac Linker. For the hometown Pirates, Brock Brazil, a senior, along with Tyrick Ivory, Josiah Hazard, who's a sophomore. It's a pretty young team here. A freshman, and Nate Gravano, and Raul Salcedo. Raul Salcedo is a sophomore for Englewood. Opening tip tonight brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? You can call Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote. That is Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. You can follow us on Twitter at B106, as well as our B106 Facebook page. The Mustangs have got a busy few days ahead of them because they've got Weld Central on Friday night, part of a doubleheader on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nick will have those games. And then non-league action coming up on Saturday at home against Ponderosa. Opening tip is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Once again, it's controlled by the Mustangs. Here's Grayson Garver with the basketball. Man-to-man defense so far. On the outside left to Caden Edson. Swings at left baseline for McBride. Dribbles left baseline all the way. Scoops it up off the glass and in. Trey McBride with a move. Dribbling by the defender, scores. And the Mustangs lead 2-0. On the outside right with the basketball is Gravano, double-teamed over there, and the ball is stripped away by McBride. Long pass to Edson. Edson 2-on-2, dribbles right baseline. Cross court to Garver. Shot is up and no good from 7 feet away. And the rebound, Luis Garcia. McBride, 3, and that one is short. And the rebound is controlled over there by Raul Salcedo. And coming the other way is Englewood, and then the ball is thrown into the backcourt. Edson will chase it down. That's another turnover. Edson right baseline. The bounce pass is to Linker, and then he fell down and traveled when he had the basketball in his possession. So the turnover is the first for the Mustangs. It gives the basketball right back to Englewood. 2-0 Fort Morgan. Nearly a minute into this game, the Mustangs are dressed in their road blacks, and Englewood in their home whites with a blue trim, and the entry pass is stolen by McBride. That's a second turnover he's forced. 3 turnovers already for Englewood. Luis Garcia left baseline all the way. He's fouled on the drive to the basket. Nate Gravano fouled him along the left baseline. That's the first foul committed by either team, and the Mustangs to throw it in on the offensive end. John Nenemaker, the head coach of Englewood, and Ty Traherne of the Mustangs. And that pass down low, poked out of bounds, intended for McBride, knocked away by Brazil. And once again, Garver to throw it in. Garver looking down low. Bounce pass left of the lane. Linker, no look pass to McBride. Ball is loose on the floor. McBride has got to try to get rid of it and does to Linker. Well, it's a mess out there, but the Mustangs retain possession. Garver then is tripped up by Gravano. That's his second foul in the last 15 seconds. He might have to take a seat and will in favor of Mason Robertson, who is a sophomore on this team. It's already a substitution, 1 minute and 17 seconds into the game, but that's what foul trouble will do. 3/4 court, Garcia, right corner to Edson, looking down low for McBride. Swings it back out to Garcia, cross court for Garver. Garver lobs it inside to McBride, ball poked away. Edson chases it down, bounce pass to Garcia, dribbles right baseline, swings it back out off of Edson's hands, taken by Garver, puts up a wild shot and misses. Garver rebound, put back is up and in. Off the glass for Grayson Garver. And the Mustangs now lead 4-0. 6:19 to go in the opening quarter. Jump pass down low over there for Hazard is poked away, and it's off a Mustang out of bounds. Thrown by Brazil, and Englewood retains possession. And to trigger it in will be, let's see, that looks like Salcedo. Salcedo lobs it on the outside left of Brazil. Brazil against Grayson Garver. Dribbles into the lane. Now leans, shoots, and scores. Straight away from about 10 feet is Brock Brazil. The Mustang lead is down to 2 at 4-2. 6 minutes to go here in the opening quarter from Englewood. Crossover dribble. Garver at the top. Lobs it inside. Knocked away. And it's intercepted by Robertson. And then he lost the ball. But Hazard now has it for Englewood. And then he committed the offensive foul backing into Garcia. So the teams exchange turnovers. And for Hazard, his first foul. And the Mustangs will come the other way. We haven't seen too much clean basketball so far. 6 points total and 6 turnovers as well. 4 by Englewood, 2 by Fort Morgan. Edson will be the point guard on this possession. On the outside left to McBride. Swings it left corner for Garver. Garver dribbling to his right against Hazard. Lobs it inside. Terrible pass. And the ball is pinballed around. Garcia, though, has it off an Englewood Pirate. Now to Edson. Edson swings it cross court to McBride in the left corner. Fakes the three. At the top for Garcia. Thinking about the three on the right wing. Edson takes the three. Edson in and out. And McBride goes for the rebound off his right hand. Intended over there for Tyreek Ivory off the rebound. Ivory the other way, left of the lane, bumps into Garver, no whistle, and then we've got a traveling violation on Ivory. 5 turnovers now for Englewood. Yes, sloppy basketball with 5:16 to go in the opening quarter. And the Mustangs lead 4-2. Here comes Grayson Garver the other way for Fort Morgan. Garver swings it left side for Linker. Back out to Garcia. Looking down low. Lobs it to McBride. He jumps. Double team. Back out to Garcia. Left wing three is off the right side of the rim. Rebound. Linker reverse layup up and in off the glass. Isaac Linker with a gorgeous move off that rebound. Fort Morgan 6 and Englewood 2. The lob at the top for Hazard. Hazard bodied up there by Garver. Back out to Brazil. Brazil crossover dribble. Garver playing some excellent defense on him. And then that pass is poked away by Garcia, swinging it right side. And here's Edson with the basketball. 6 turnovers for Englewood. Garcia on the outside right, dribbles right baseline, and he puts up a wild shot air ball. And the ball's out of bounds off of Linker as he tried to gain the rebound into his arms. But it really wasn't a rebound since it was an air ball. And here comes, who is that for? Isaac Madrano. Madrano in there for a freshman for Englewood. The Pirates with 4:27 to go in the opening quarter have the basketball. On the outside left, Ivory. Ivory swings it left corner for Hazard. Hazard dribbles to his right, now double teamed over there. Had the ball nearly stripped, and then the ball is loose. It's poked away by Edson. Here's Garcia. Ahead of the field, scoops it up and in. Timeout, Englewood. Garcia scores for the first time, and Englewood's committed 7 turnovers. We'll keep it right here with 4:12 to go. In the opening quarter, Fort Morgan with an 8-2 lead. Once again, we'll be back at it on Friday night, 5:30 and 7 o'clock on B106 and B106.com. At home against Wells Central. And Englewood's got to figure out a way to score more points and commit fewer turnovers. 2 points and 7 turnovers in the first 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And that gives us a chance to tell you that for a college that will equip you to go anywhere, you can look no further than Northeastern. For more information, go to njc.edu and make Stubbs Gas and Oil your next stop heading out of town. During your visit, you can gas up your vehicle, sit down to lunch, get snacks, and your hunting and fishing licenses. Man, they've got some excellent food at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Low prices in Wiggins. Mustangs have yet to make a substitution. Edson, Garver, McBride, Linker, and Garcia. It is Madrano, Ivory, Hazard, along with Mason Robertson, and Brock Brazil will bring the ball up the court for Englewood, trailing by 6. Here midway through the opening quarter in Englewood. On the outside right, Robertson just beyond the timeline. Back over to Ivory against Edson. Swings it left side of Brazil. Lob left baseline for Hazard. Down low for Ivory. Then he tried to swing across court. Does to Robertson. Lost control. Gets it back. Fades from 10. Off the back of the ring. The ball is tipped up a couple of times. And now we've got a whistle. I believe Linker went over the back. And that would be the Mustangs' first foul. And it is on Isaac Linker. Englewood to throw it in on the offensive end. Brazil to trigger it in. Brock Brazil. Looking, still looking. Bounces left baseline to Madrano. He's double teamed. Swings it back out to Brazil. Now he dribbles towards the timeline, resetting the offense for these Englewood Pirates. Now fading from 10 and scoring off the glass. I don't know how he made that shot on the right wing. Brock Brazil has scored all the points for Englewood. They trail 8-4. 3.5 to go in the first. Again, man-to-man employed there by Englewood. On the outside left, Luis Garcia with a basketball. Swings it near the top for Edson. Edson chases it down after it went off his right hand. At the top now for Grayson Garber. Left wing for Garcia. Bounce pass to McBride at the free throw line. McBride dribbles, backs in his defender. Straight away Garber. He puts up the three. Bingo! Grayson Garber with a triple. Garber now with 5 in the game, and the Mustangs lead 11-4. 3:03 to go. First quarter from Englewood. On the outside right, Robertson, bounce pass, free throw line for Hazard, intercepted McBride, and then his ball is knocked away, intercepted by Brazil. Brazil in the lane, left-handed layup up and in for Brock Brazil. Again, it's Fort Morgan 11, Brazil 6. McBride on the left wing, hands it off to Edson, 2:43 to go in the opening quarter. McBride looking, swings it cross court to Garcia. Dribbles right baseline by the defender. Bounce pass inside for Linker. Linker's trapped over there. Now Garver, another three. It's off the left side of the rim, and the ball's out of bounds. Oh my gosh, McBride and another Mustang go flying into the Englewood bench and knock over Stephen Harris of Englewood. The chairs go flying, but that's basketball. Good hard play on both sides. It'll be Englewood basketball. Jacob Ortega and Braden McAllister are in for the Mustangs. First substitution for Fort Morgan with 2:32 to go in the opening quarter, with the Mustangs leading by 5. Here's Brazil the other way. Brazil at the top, double teamed, and then he lost control, and then he tries to get the ball back, and he does after it was tipped away. Tyreek Ivory, cross-court. Robertson dribbles right baseline, swings it cross-court, and then the ball is out of bounds. Yep, it went off of Madrano on that very hard pass. Turnover number 9 committed by Englewood. Fort Morgan the other way. At the top of the basketball is Ortega. Swings it down low for Garcia, and then he lost control. Intercepted by Ivory, and then the Mustangs get it back, and McBride is fouled and scores! Well, he was pushed from behind. It almost looked like an intentional foul on the layup off the glass. He'll go to the line, and Ivory commits the foul as the teams once again exchange turnovers there. And McBride now has 4 points and will try to make it 5 with the Mustangs up by 7. The all-time leading scorer in Fort Morgan Mustang history. Throws it up very short. McBride, though, chases it down, but he was in the back court. So it's called an over and back because he tried to flip it into Ortega. He was never set in the front court. I don't know. That looks strange to me from this particular angle. Englewood basketball, 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Fort Morgan 13, Englewood 6. Brazil bounce pass, high right to Robertson. Dribbles against McBride, right baseline. Cut off by McBride. Bounce pass to Hazard. Puts a move on McAllister. Then he traveled. Turnover number 11 in the game. Getting very sloppy here for the Englewood Pirates. Here's Mustang basketball with Jacob Ortega. At the top, dribbles left of the lane. Ortega maintains the dribble. Free throw line, Garber, 15-footer around and good. Grayson Garber has 7 in the opening quarter. It's a 9-point lead for Fort Morgan. Mustangs look like they're in a 2-2-1 or something. Garber with a steal all the way, and he slams it home! Grayson Garber with a slam off the 12th turnover by Englewood. And the Mustangs now lead 17-6. Garber with 9 in the opening quarter. Here's Hazard, right baseline with a basketball. 1:12 to go, first quarter. Cross court for Brazil, nearly poked away by Ortega. Brazil in the left corner, and then we've got a... What do we got here? It's got to be a foul. Can't be a timeout. Foul committed by Grayson Garver. That'll be his first. Edson back into the game, and Nick Norris, 2 sophomores now in. McBride and Garver will take a rest. Brazil to throw it in for Englewood. On the outside right, fresh into the game for the Pirates is Thomas O'Connor. Right of the lane with a basketball, spinning, shooting. Hazard partially blocked, but a foul. I think McAllister might have got him across the arm. Let's see if that's the case. It was a Mustang foul, just trying to determine if it was McAllister or somebody else. Now they're going to call it on Nick Norris. So to the stripe is Josiah Hazard. The only one who has scored so far is Brazil for Englewood. And that free throw is good. 17-7. in favor of Fort Morgan. Second free throw is in and out. And the big rebound is grabbed by Braden McAllister. There's the outlet to Ortega, crossing the timeline at the top. Swings it left side for McAllister. On the bounce pass to Garcia. Garcia fakes the three at the top for Ortega. I'll get a hold of what Fort Morgan is playing defensively because they're playing so much pressure defense. Players all over the court when they're back on D. I know it's not a 1-2-2-1 or whatever I was saying earlier. On the outside right, Garcia fakes the three. 30 seconds to go in the lane to McAllister, and his shot is blocked. His little runner's blocked over there by Hazard. Then the Mustangs commit the foul in the backcourt. That could be Norris again. He went flying, and it is Nick Norris with his second foul. 28.1 seconds to go in the opening quarter, and Englewood has the basketball. And here comes Brazil the other way. 25 seconds to go now, crossing the timeline. Outside right, faking a three's O'Connor, and then he took too many steps. 13 turnovers for Englewood. Mustangs looking to build on a 10-point lead. Jacob Ortega into the front court. Ortega at the top, left side to McAllister. Swings it over to Garcia. Garcia with 12 seconds to go, dribbles to his right. Beyond the timeline, just beyond the timeline to Edson as the Mustangs back up that offense a little bit. Edson left side to Garcia, 3 seconds to go. Dribbles towards the top, jump pass, Edson. Check that, Ortega, and that is shot blocked. The three was blocked at the buzzer, and that's the end of the opening quarter with the score. Fort Morgan 17, Englewood 7. It's a 1-minute break on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. We begin the second quarter as Josiah Hazard banks and scores 17-9 right here on Morgan County's B106 KPRB. Brush Fort Morgan. John Beltran with you. Grayson Garver on the outside right with the basketball. He scored 9 points in the opening quarter. Dribbling towards the top, swings across court to Edson. He backs up for a shot that's off the back of the rim from three. And then we got a whistle and a foul. I think McBride might have pushed off. That would be the 15th foul. McBride doesn't think he did anything. I didn't see him do anything. He's so big and strong that it's natural to think that he can push people off easily, but I don't think he committed any violation there. But the foul was whistled against McBride. Englewood has 14 fouls. Yeah, the Mustangs right now, a little 1-2-2. That's what they're looking. Garver's picking up at midcourt. Here's the lob to Hazard at the free throw line. Right corner, wide open shot, O'Connor, good. That's a three-pointer for Thomas O'Connor. And now Englewood is inching closer. They've scored the first 5 points of the second. 17-12, Fort Morgan. It's 7:10 to go. Again in the second quarter. Edson on the outside left. Near the top now to Ortega. Left-handed dribble. Now to Edson left side. Tries to force it inside to McBride. Doesn't. He banks and scores. Boy, that was forced, but McBride was able to put it in. Once he was able to catch that basketball, McBride was 6. The Mustangs lead 19-12. Hazard left of the lane, backing in on Linker. Swings it cross court over here in the lane to Mason Robertson, and then the shot is put up and in by Robertson. 19-14. Englewood's hanging around. Here's Edson at the top for Ortega. Back out to Edson. Won't take that shot. Swings at free throw line for Linker. Stripped away. Intercepted behind the back dribble. Ivory all the way off the glass and scores. Tyreek Ivory scores. Timeout, Fort Morgan. The Mustangs have committed their 5th turnover of the game. It's brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car truck of your choice, serving all of Northeast Colorado. That's Ehrlich Toyota East. The Mustangs had a 10-point lead after the opening quarter. And just like that to begin the second, Englewood has gone on a 9-1 run. And all of a sudden make it a 9-2 run to make this a 3-point game. Garver, Linker, Garcia, Edson, and McBride for Fort Morgan. And I think I might have had a 15 in there. Let's see. Now that was Madrano who scored earlier. Check that. And not Gravagno. All right, Garver wide open left corner. 3 is short, but Linker grabs the long rebound. Down low to McBride. Swings it back out. Garcia, 3. Yes! Luis Garcia drills it from 3. And the Mustangs back up by 6, 22-16. 5:55 to go, second quarter. Between the legs dribble for Ivory. Back on the outside left to Brazil, guarded by Garver. Looks to penetrate, but can't. Now gets a pick, puts up a three, and that's off the back of the rim. And then Garcia tried to chase down the rebound, did save it from going out of bounds, and gets it over to Isaac Linker. Into the front court, it's Grayson Garver. Garver, cross-court bounce pass to Garcia. On the outside right to Garver, thinks about the shot, picked up over there. Cross-court, Garcia, wide open three, and he missed it. Off to the right, and the rebound is grabbed by Medrano. Long pass. Right wing three is off the back of the rim. That was missed over there by O'Connor. Rebound, Medrano fades, banks, misses. And Grayson Garver grabs the rebound for Fort Morgan. Mustangs into the front court. Garver between the legs, dribbles right baseline, swings it cross court, and the ball is intercepted. And here the other way is Ivory spinning, banking, and scoring. Tyreek Ivory with a heck of a play. It's a major athlete, 22-18 Fort Morgan. 4:50 to go here in the second quarter. Edson to Linker, cross court to Garver. He'll take the three, and it's short. And the ball is rebounded. Long rebound to Josiah Hazard. And we got a double dribble. That's the first turnover for Englewood here in the second quarter after they committed 13 turnovers in the opening 8 minutes of the game. Fort Morgan 22, Englewood 18, 4:42 to go, second quarter. Here is Grayson Garver with the basketball just beyond the timeline. Bounce pass right side to Edson. Edson looks down low. Left side Garver. He pulls up from 15, and that's off the backside of the rim on the left side, and the ball is tipped around, and it's rebounded by Ivory all the way. Scoops it up too strong. Put back up and in. Josiah Hazard scores off the rebound. The Mustang lead was 10 moments ago. Now it's 2. 22-20. 4:15 to go before the break. Caden Edson with the basketball. Bounce pass in the left corner for Linker. Linker at the top for Garcia. Mustangs have missed too many threes in this quarter. On the outside right with the basketball is Garver. Lobs it down low for McBride, and he banks and he misses. He gets the rebound left-handed. Scores off the glass. Trey McBride of the Mustangs now lead 24-20. McBride now with 8 in the game. 3:47 to go, second quarter. Top of the three-point circle. Hazard gets a pick, dribbles to his right, caught off by Linker. Back out. O'Connor is going to throw up an air ball. And McBride, as he missed badly from three. McBride the other way for Fort Morgan. McBride in the lane. McBride shoots. And are they going to call an offensive foul on McBride? They did. Wow. I mean, clearly that defender was moving. McBride is not happy. But he's coming out of the game in favor of Braden McAllister. 7 turnovers for Fort Morgan. And now it'll be Brock Brazil for Englewood with the Pirates right in this game, down by 4 with 3.5 to go now as the ball is dribbled across midcourt. Brazil left of the lane all the way, left-handed layup up and in. The Mustangs fell asleep on defense. Brazil now with 8. He got one pick, but nobody picked him up. Garver into the front court, swings it right side. Now for Sadinana into the game. Bounce pass, McAllister, he traveled. Ooh, they're going to call a foul first. Oh, boy, one official was signaling one thing, but the foul is called. And that looks like Hazard has committed his second. Lob it in, Garver to Garcia, wide open three. That's a big one for Luis Garcia. He's got both triples for Fort Morgan in the quarter, 27-22. 3 minutes to go before halftime. Brazil against Sadinana. Bounce pass on the outside left to Tyreek Ivory. Mustangs now in a little bit of a soft zone. Ivory swings it right side. O'Connor, long three is off the back of the rim. And 2 Mustangs go high for the rebound. I think Hazard went over the back. And that should be 3 on Hazard. Yeah, they're going to have to take him out. That's 3 on Josiah Hazard. And he scored 4 points in this quarter. And Fort Morgan trying to extend what is now a 5-point advantage. They've led by as many as 10. David Sadinana, sophomore. On the outside left, a chest pass to Garcia. Gets a pick from Linker. On the high right to Garver. Bounce pass near the right corner. Poked out of bounds by Brazil. Fort Morgan retains possession. Who's going to throw it in? Nobody's there for the Mustangs. I think Garver is going to do the honors. Garver looking. Down low for Linker, and Linker puts it up, and it looked like he was fouled, but he misses. And the rebound to McAllister, he misses. Then Linker is fouled. Oh, they're going to call jump ball or no? No, it should be a... What are they calling here? Okay, that is a foul. All right, well, either way, Isaac Linker to the stripe. Mustangs have done a nice job here in this first half. On the rebounding side, unofficially, out-rebounding Englewood, 11-6. Raul Salcedo back in the game for Englewood. No, they're going to say he wasn't shooting. It was on the floor. So at 2:25 to go, second quarter, to throw it in on the offensive end is Garver. Back out to Garcia. Dribbles towards the top. Picks up the dribble. Has to find a teammate. Does to Linker. In the left corner for Sadinana. Bounce pass to Linker. Linker straight away now for Luis Garcia. Left wing for Sadinana. Dropped the ball. Got it back. They reset over there with Garver. Down low for McBride. Or checked at with McAllister. McBride out of the game being fouled. McAllister fouled. Yeah, McBride has committed 2 fouls. And McAllister to the line. He'll shoot 2. Foul was committed by Isaac Medrano, his first. And the free throw by McAllister's in the air, and that's way short. Barely got to the rim. Had very, if any, trajectory. Second free throw coming up for Braden McAllister. He bends, he shoots, and it's in and out. And the rebound is controlled by Medrano. His third board for Englewood. Into the front court, Brazil. Now to O'Connor. Dribbles right baseline. Cross-court pass is taken by Salcedo. Now to Brazil. Dribbles right baseline all the way. And his shot is blocked out of bounds by Garver as he attempted a layup. Brazil thought he drew some body contact, but the whistle was for the ball being knocked out of bounds. Englewood retains possession. Salcedo to throw it in. Raul Salcedo. McAllister's right on top of him. And then the bounce pass went through the legs of the Englewood defender, or the offender. And now at midcourt, a Mustang and a Pirate are down on the floor. Sadinana and O'Connor. Possession arrow as the ball is tied up there. Goes to Fort Morgan. So Linker to Garcia. On the high right to Garver. Garver had 9 points in the opening quarter, none here in the second. Back out to Sadinana. Sadinana gets a pick, swings to the left corner for Garcia. Has the ball knocked out of bounds by South. Oh no, they're going to say Garcia touched it last. Well, he went for the ball, but I don't think he actually touched the ball. Okay, they did get an overrule. The official near midcourt overruled that, so in the corner, Garver to trigger it in. Garver to Sadinana, bounce pass to Linker. Linker's going to hand it off to Sadinana just across midcourt, and he hands it right back off to Garcia, who retreats towards the timeline. On the outside left here is Garver, gets a pick over there from Linker. Bounce pass to Sadinana, right corner Garcia, fakes the three, bounce pass to McAllister, spins, turns, shoots, misses left hand, and Medrano grabs the rebound, and then we have a traveling violation by Englewood. Fort Morgan basketball. Boy, lots of contact there, no whistle, but we did get the travel. And to throw it in again on the offensive end underneath the basket, it's Grayson Garver. Garver lobs it near the top over to McAllister. McAllister cross-court pass knocked out of bounds by Mason Robertson, three-quarters court. Garcia to throw it in for Fort Morgan. Gets it into Garver. It's been stuck on 27-22 for a little while. Sadinana, outside right. Bounce pass to Garcia, left wing to Garver, left in the lane to Linker. Linker's double team, nearly tied up, and then he is tied up. Possession arrow is pointing Englewood's direction. Yeah, they collapsed on Linker, and he had no shot to get rid of it. The basketball goes to Englewood. The Mustangs are going for their 7th win of the season. But they've had a little bit of a struggle here in the second quarter after leading by 10. Following the opening 8 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Brazil dribbling left baseline. Body contact, fouled by Garver. That'll be the 17th foul, 1-and-1 situation. Garver has committed his second. And Brock Brazil to the stripe. Need a new windshield? Want to spray on bed liner or truck accessories? Smart Parts in Sterling. And Buildings by Design has the experience to complete your project from start to finish. Get the quality you deserve in your building by starting your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. Is that free throw going to count? The free throw went in, but there was a whistle. Are they signaling a lane violation, or what happened there? They still haven't put the point on the board. They might wave this thing off. Yeah, I think they're going to wave it off. In fact, there might have been you rarely see this, yeah. Or do we have a double foul? Let's see, one is on Robertson. The free throw is made. Now Brazil on the line by himself, and he missed that one. But I didn't see a technical signal, no, yeah. Now it looks like Fort Morgan's going to shoot free throws. All right, that's what happened. It was a foul after the first free throw by Mason Robertson. McAllister was fouled, so it wasn't a tech. He got the second free throw by himself. 1-1, 8-team foul. McAllister missed 2 a moment ago, and this free throw is way short. Man, he is pulling the string, and the ball is rebounded there by Brazil. He's not even close on those free throws. The other way with the basketball, and then Brazil is stripped. Linker picks it up for Fort Morgan. Over to Sadinana. On the outside left, Garver gets a pick. Free throw line extended. Spins. Back out to Linker. Cross-court jump pass to Garcia. Right corner, Sadinana. Bounce pass to McAllister. Double team. Had the ball stripped away. And then Sadinana tried to tie up Taryn Baca just into the game. Fort Morgan now commits 9 turnovers over the opening 15 minutes. Three-pointer is no good by Baca. And the rebound into the hands of Luis Garcia. And the ball is knocked out of bounds on the outlet pass towards Garver. 9.3 seconds to go. The Fort Morgan lead is only at 4. And to throw it in will be Isaac Linker. Over to Garver. Left side, Ortega. There's 4 seconds to go. Ortega looking for somebody. Then his pass was intercepted. Brazil picks it up. And it's well short from about 60 off the Mustang turnover. And Fort Morgan had some awful possessions there in the second quarter after playing some pretty good basketball in the first. It's a 3-minute break. The halftime score from Englewood. Fort Morgan 27, Englewood 23 on B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs lead 27-23 as we head to the third quarter. John Beltran with you from Englewood High School. Fort Morgan with the basketball first. McBride, Linker, Garver, Edson, and Luis Garcia will set the lineup here momentarily for Englewood. Garver dribbling right side. Jump pass down low for McBride. Swings it back out to Garver. In the right corner, Garcia. Garcia guarded by Brazil. Entry pass is knocked away by Brazil, but the ball's loose on the floor, and it's picked up by Linker, and then Linker puts it up and misses off to the left. And a rebound is grabbed by Brazil. Garcia went over the back. Luis Garcia commits his first foul. Englewood comes the other way. They've got Nate Gravano, who had 2 early fouls and sat out the majority of the first half. Out there with Mason Robertson, Brock Brazil, Isaac Medrano, and with the basketball, Tyreek Ivory. Probably, along with McBride, the best athletes on the floor, and of course Garver in there as well, amongst the best athletes on this floor. With the basketball, Brazil gets a pick over there from Gravano. He leans, he shoots, and he scores, but an offensive foul. He dug that left shoulder in the lane, and Brazil's called for the offensive foul. That's his first. Turnover number 18 for Englewood, as he put up that runner straight away from about 10 feet. But again, he separated himself with the defender with that left shoulder. Edson for Fort Morgan on the outside right for Garber. Dribbles left baseline, pulls up from 15, and it's around and good. Off the pick at the free throw line, Garver scores. He now has 11. The Mustangs lead by 6, 29-23, 6:53 to go, second quarter. Ivory gets a pick, picked up by Garcia. Right side to Brazil, guarded by Garver. Boy, that was a travel by Robertson. How do you not call that? On the outside right to Gravano. Gravano with a basketball, spins, and then throws a no-look pass down low for Robertson. Puts up a right-hand shot, misses, and the ball is loose. It's chased down by Ivory. Initially, Garcia had it, and did he have it in travel? He did. He fell down and traveled. Officially, that's a turnover on Fort Morgan. And three-quarters court, Gravano will throw it in. And Robertson took 2 steps and no travel was called. Entry pass intended for Medrano. McBride knocks it off Medrano's right leg out of bounds. 19 turnovers for Englewood. Mustangs with a 6-point lead. 6.5 to go in the third. Edson on the outside right to Garver. Garver gets a pick, swings it cross court. Garcia, left corner for Edson, puts up a long 3, and that's an air ball. Missed that by 5 feet. Away with the basketball. Brazil to Ivory, lays it up too strong. Rebound Medrano, he's fouled. Isaac Medrano's grabbed 5 rebounds. And he was hacked by Isaac Linker. That'll be his second. And Medrano to the line. He's played well in this game. Medrano is just a freshman. You've got to be kidding me. And he's got the body of a senior. Strong kid. Free throw is short with that left-handed delivery. Second free throw. Spinning, bending, shooting, and missing off to the left. And the rebound is into the hands of Isaac Linker, his fourth. There's the outlet to Edson, crossing midcourt. Edson at the top, chest pass, right side to Garver. Left-handed dribble, gets a pick from Linker, thinks about the shot, doesn't take it. Overhead pass to Garcia, left corner for Edson. Left of the lane to Linker, double team. Straight away Garcia on the outside right, chest pass to Garver. Long 3 is off to the left. Rebound McBride, he banks and scores to the left of the basket. McBride used his power and will. He now has 10 to go along with 3 rebounds. Mustangs lead 31-23, 5:47 to go. 3, Brazil good on the left wing. He just backed up, and Brazil now has 12. The lead is back down to 5, 31-26. Edson right side to Garver with a basketball. Garver gets a pick over there from Linker. Swings it left corner for Edson. Down low McBride. He banks and misses. Rebound McBride. Tries to put it back up, but he's fouled by Medrano. Hacked across the forearm, and Trey McBride will go to the line. Now they're going to call that on, check that on. Is that on Ivory instead? That's what they got up there, number 3. McBride bends, shoots, and rattles it home. He's got 11. Mustangs now lead by 6, 32-26. The senior headed to Colorado State, who's somewhat bandaged around that left shin area. Bends, shoots, and that's in and out. The rebound to Brock Brazil is third. Mustang lead remains at 6. 5:25 to go, third quarter in Englewood. Brazil is double-teamed by Garver and Garcia. Bounce pass to Robertson. Dribbling to his right, behind his back. Nearly stripped away by Garver. Robertson out of control, and then he traveled. Yeah, I mean, you got to get rid of that basketball much earlier. But the Mustangs, with that defensive pressure, have forced Englewood's 20th turnover. And Josiah Hazard, who had 3 fouls in the opening half, is back in the game. The Mustangs had a double-digit lead after the opening quarter. In fact, it was exactly at 10 at 17-7. Grayson Garver dribbles to his right. Picks up the dribble. Cross-court to Edson. Edson dribbles left baseline. Now he's cut off over there. Back out to Garver. Garver takes a dribble, spins in the lane, and then... Was he called for traveling? I believe he was. Turnover number 12 for Fort Morgan with 4:58 to go. In the third, the Mustangs 32, the Englewood Pirates 26. Brazil across the timeline, guarded by Garver. Bounce pass to Ivory, back out, and then we got a whistle, and I think Garver was called for a foul on a bump. That'll be his third. That'll be the third team foul. And to throw it in just beyond midcourt is Tyreek Ivory. Ivory lobs it in the backcourt to Brock Brazil, who is the leading scorer for Englewood with 12 points. Crossover dribble against Garcia. Chest pass right side to Ivory. Gets a pick. Garver now picks him up. Back out on the high right to Gravano, a freshman. Gravano behind his back, dribbles right baseline. Lost control, and it gets it down low to Hazard. Hazard against Linker. Dribbles, spins, turns, shoots, misses. Rebound Medrano. And then Medrano has it tied up by Linker. Possession arrow, Englewood. Boy, Linker did a nice job of just tying up Isaac Medrano, but Englewood will throw it in. 4:24 to go on the offensive end in the third. Brazil will trigger it in. Boy, that's close to 5 seconds, and he gets it off just in time. Over to Gravano. Gravano lobs it down low for Hazard, right baseline. Lobs it inside now for Tyreek Ivory. He's tied up by McBride. Boy, they're trying to force up shots here with defenders for Fort Morgan all over the place down low. And that time, possession arrow is pointing in Fort Morgan's direction, and Braden McAllister is into the game now. Isaac Linker is out. Edson is now out in favor of Jacob Ortega. Approaching the midway point of the third. On the high right, Ortega with the basketball. Left-handed dribble, bounce pass to Garcia just beyond midcourt. Garcia high right to Ortega, dribbles, bounce pass to McBride, but he is double-teamed along the right baseline. Overhead pass, cross-court Garver. Left corner three is in and out. And then I think Ivory lost control of the basketball. He did. Actually, Hazard did. Either way, Fort Morgan retains possession. And they'll throw it in underneath Englewood's basket with 3:55 to go in the third. Garver, right corner pass. Ortega three is very short and off the top of the backboard. I shouldn't say very short, because if it's very short, it comes right back to you. But that one short enough that it clanked off and went off the top of the backboard after it hit the lip of the rim. Englewood basketball with 3:43 to go in the third. Brazil at midcourt, nearly stripped by Garver, maintains the dribble, jump pass, intercepted by McBride. McBride to Garver, will he have another dunk? He will not, he'll just lay it up and in off the glass. Nice job by Grayson Garver. Garver now with 13, the Mustangs lead 34-26. Fort Morgan pressuring once again, nearly a steal in the lane, all the way, Ivory scoops and scores. Ivory had McBride in the air, driving down the lane, and he's now got 6. 34-28 Fort Morgan. 3:14 to go in the third. Ortega on the outside right against Brazil. Swings it right corner. McAllister penetrates. Banks misses. Rebound. McAllister on the other side. Then he's tied up. Possession arrow. Englewood. So Englewood will have the basketball. Yeah, McAllister missed it so badly. He just kept running, and he was able to grab the ball himself. But there was also a Pirate right there. So the other way with 3:06 to go. Gravano will throw it in. And now we get a foul at the top of the three-point circle against Fort Morgan as Ivory was dribbling towards the free throw line. That's committed by Sarinana. Mr. D's Farm and Home Center, Ace Farm and Home Center, your headquarters for all your home farm and ranch supplies from plumbing to feed with 3 locations. Sterling Brush and Fort Morgan, 3/4 court. Gravano to throw it in with 2:59 to go, third quarter to Ivory. Ivory against Sarinana. Behind the back dribble, picks up the dribble, looking for some help. Swings it back out to Brazil. Brazil against Sarinana. Bounce pass, right baseline. Ivory gets a defender in the air, and then McAllister blocks the shot, but he knocked the ball out of bounds, trying to retrieve it before it went out of bounds. And to throw it in will be Gravano. Looking the right corner to Brazil. Backs up for a long three. That is around and no good. Nice box out there by Luis Garcia, grabbing his fourth board. Across the timeline, Garcia swings it right baseline McBride, and McBride is fouled. That might be Hazard with his fourth. That is Hazard. That's what I've got. I got 4 fouls here. And Coach Nanamaker's looking at his bench. Oh, they're going to save Medrano instead. There's the lob towards McBride with the basketball at the top of the three-point circle. Back out to Ortega, now to McBride, left of the lane, double team. Bounce pass Garcia, straight away three is no good. Rebound, McBride, banks and scores. Too easy for Trey McBride. He now has 13 points in the game. The Mustangs lead by 8, 36-28, 2 points shy of matching their biggest lead. Brazil had the ball kicked by Ortega on the attempted bounce pass. Isaac Linker will check in for Fort Morgan, and Raul Salcedo for Englewood. And it'll be Gravano throwing it in from half court. Lob in the backcourt to Brazil. Brazil with the basketball, swings it right side to Tyreek Ivory. Guarded there closely by Ortega. Picks up his dribble, jump pass to Salcedo, double team. And then Linker tries to tie him up, and he does. And possession arrows pointing to, well, it was pointing the other way. To Fort Morgan's direction. There you go. Yep. So the Mustangs have it. Yeah, you can't always corral the basketball once you bring it in. That allows defenders to converge. Sadinana outside right to Ortega. Ortega bounce pass is going to be, well, there's a whistle before the entry pass was made to McAllister. Now that looks like it is on Hazard, which would be his fourth. Medrano back in for Hazard. Ortega to throw it in. Minute 48 to go in the third. Mustangs by 8. Ortega had the pass tipped away, and it's intercepted by Ivory. Here is Brock Brazil. Brazil to Gravano, misses the layup. And the rebound into the hands of Luis Garcia, his fifth rebound. Garcia dribbles on the outside right towards the baseline. He's got a dribble out of traffic. Picks up his dribble. Right baseline to Linker. On the left wing to Sadinana. At the top for Ortega. Under 90 seconds to go in the third. Mustangs lead by 8. Luis Garcia behind the three-point line. And then he's fouled. Man, Raul Salcedo was all over him. 15 fouls. Salcedo commits his first personal. And on the side, three-quarters court, Mustangs to throw it in. Sadinana is out. And the sophomore is replaced by junior David Mussman. Mussman has an outstanding three-point shot, and the Mustangs can always use that. Ortega at the head of the three-point circle. On the outside left to Garcia, looking down low. Left of the lane to McAllister. 15-footer is around and no good. Garcia tried to tip the ball to himself. Taken by Medrano, and he throws it into the hands of McAllister, who lays it in. He was right underneath the basket. Big mistake there. McAllister scored easily his first points of the game. Mustangs lead by 10, under 1 minute to go in the third. Entry pass is out of bounds, intended for Medrano. Isaac Linker's played outstanding defense tonight, and now we've got an Englewood timeout. We'll keep it right here with 56.6 seconds to go. We are second shy of the top of the hour. This is KPRB, Brush Fort Morgan, also known as Morgan County's B106. I'm John Beltran, live from Englewood, where the Mustangs are going for another victory here in the Colorado 7, which would be their fifth in the league and seventh overall win and fourth in a row. They played well in stretches. Second quarter was obviously not their best when they were outscored 16-10. Their defense has been really good tonight. The offense has obviously been a little bit inconsistent, trying to stretch out their game a little bit. As Garcia has a couple of threes. That came in the second quarter. Garver had 1 3 in the first, and the rest of the threes have missed. I don't know how many Fort Morgan's taken, but I'm guessing they're shooting about 20 to 25% from three-point range. When you've got a guy like McBride, though, he can open up the outside game just by scoring down low, but you still got to make those shots. Mason Robertson, Isaac Medrano, Raul Salcedo, along with Brock Brazil and Tyreek Ivory for Englewood. The Mustangs have the basketball. In the backcourt, Linker to throw it in to Ortega. Out there with Mussman, Garcia, and McAllister. Ortega chest pass to Linker. On the left side to Mussman, guarded by Ivory. Picks up his dribble. Cross court to Luis Garcia. On the outside, left McAllister. Left corner for Ortega. Jump pass intended for McAllister, but he was headed towards the basket. And Ortega threw it well behind him. Turnover number 14 for Fort Morgan. 37 seconds to go in the third. Brazil comes the other way for Englewood, between his legs. Will he back up for a three? Nope. He'll swing it right side to Ivory, down to 28 seconds remaining. Robertson with the basketball against Garcia. Free throw line extended, back out to Brazil. Looks up at the clock with 22. Jump pass to Salcedo, into the lane. Then he threw it right into the hands of Braden McAllister. It's almost like he was his teammate. Here with the basketball is Luis Garcia. Inside, McAllister puts it up and in with the left hand. Off the feet from Garcia. McAllister's got 4 points all in the quarter. The lead is 40 to 28. And then the pass is intercepted by Ortega at midcourt. All the way, scoops it up, and he missed it off the Englewood turnover. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Fort Morgan 40, Englewood 28. We're back in 1 minute on B106 and B106.com. McBride, Linker, Edson, Garber, and Garcia as we begin the fourth quarter. The Mustangs have their biggest lead of 12 at 40-28. Brock Brazil has the basketball, thrown in from Mason Robertson out there with Tyreek Ivory, Isaac Medrano, and Josiah Hazard. Here is Ivory on the outside right, backs up now towards the head of the three-point circle, guarded by Garber. Right of the lane to Hazard, backs in on Linker, and he committed the offensive foul. He threw that left shoulder right into Linker, and I believe he's fouled out. Or is that only his fourth? Nope, that's going to be his fourth. Check that. Englewood has now committed unofficially 26 turnovers, and the Mustangs looking to stretch this out even more. Here is Garber across midcourt, swings it to Caden Edson. Edson at the top, bounce pass on the outside left to Garcia, gets a pick from Linker, swings it down low for McBride. McBride lost it, got it back, left-handed shot up, no good on a foul. Trey McBride to the line as he actually switched hands in midair. And McBride to shoot two. Not too many free throws taken in this game. Isaac Medrano, who's played very well on the boards with 6 rebounds, commits the miscue there, the foul, I should say. McBride's got 13 points on the night, and the free throw is up and good for Trey McBride, leading all scorers now with 14. Mustangs lead by a baker's dozen. Second free throw is up and around and good as well. McBride 3 out of 4 in the second half from the line. Fort Morgan 42, Englewood 28. 7:18 to go from Englewood. With the basketball, it's Ivory, swings it cross court for Robertson behind the three-point line. Motioning his offense to Medrano. Medrano all the way, banks, misses, offensive foul. And guess who took the contact? Isaac Linker, who's had an incredible defensive game tonight. It's also a turnover for Englewood. Linker has 2 points, but his defense has been smothering. He's grabbed 4 rebounds. Involved in a few tie-ups. Taken a couple of charges here in the second half. Garver with the basketball, left-handed dribble. Maintains it against Brock Brazil, and we got a timeout, Fort Morgan. 6:44 to go in the game. That timeout is brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East. Yeah, the Mustangs know this game is not over. When they led by 10, Englewood kept coming back in the second quarter and in the third. And then later in the third, that's when Fort Morgan put some distance between themselves and the Pirates. And as a result, they've got their biggest advantage now of 42-28. I believe they're on an 8-0 run at this point, dating back to the third quarter. It was 40-28 after 3, so obviously in the early moments of the fourth, Mustangs looking to close this out in style and generate their 7th win of the year. The 5 starters remain out there for the Mustangs. And Medrano, Brazil, Gravadno, along with Tyreek Ivory and Josiah Hazard for Englewood. Mustang basketball, 3/4 court. Garcia to trigger it in. Throws it in the backcourt, lobs it there to Grayson Garver. Left of the lane to Linker in the left corner for Edson. Right-handed dribble towards the top of the key. On the outside right to Garcia. Thinks about the 3, won't take it. Overhead pass to McBride. In the left corner for Garver. Gets a pick from McBride. Dribbles into the lane all the way. He scoops it up and in, but they call a traveling violation. Garver is wondering, what? And I am as well. I don't think he actually traveled. Took a little hop step, and he's looking at the official. I kind of agree with him. I don't think that was necessarily a travel. But nonetheless, it's 15 turnover for Fort Morgan. Brazil in the lane. His floater's up and good, and a Mustang foul. Brazil scores. Now a 12-point game. Foul was committed by Trey McBride, his third. Brazil now with 14 points. He's a good-looking basketball player. Brazil for the line, shoots, and it scores. Off the lip of the rim, and it went in. Fort Morgan 42, Englewood 31. 6:15 to go in the game. Linker in the left corner for Edson. Dribbles to his right. Swings it cross court to Garcia. Garcia lobs it near the top to McBride. Back on the high left to Garver. Down low, McBride hands it off to Linker. Banks and scores. The assist to McBride. The bucket for the junior Isaac Linker. Linker now with 4. 44-31 Fort Morgan. 5:49 to go in Englewood. Here is Robertson throwing up a floater, almost a hook shot. It's an air ball. McBride has it for the Mustangs. McBride the other way. Left to the lane. He's going to have to kick it back out of the bounce to Garver. Garver lobs it left corner. McBride, he'll take the shot. It's off the back of the rim from 3. Long rebound to Nate Gravano. Gravano the other way. Bumps into Edson, then puts up a shot and misses off to the right. Grayson Garver boxes out nicely for his 3rd rebound. Garver will slow it down with 5:20 to go in the game. Fort Morgan 44. Englewood 31. Linker just beyond midcourt. Holds the ball in his left hip. Now takes a dribble. Bounce pass to Edson. Edson well behind the 3-point line. Mustangs will take some time off the clock. Now to McBride just beyond the timeline. McBride left-handed dribble at the free throw line. Jump pass to Garcia. He dribbles it back out to Edson. Edson near midcourt. Hands it off to Linker. 4:56 to go. Fort Morgan leads by 13. Left to the lane to Garver. Dribbles by 2 all the way. Left-handed layup. Missed it. Tyreek Ivory has the rebound. His 2nd. Ivory by himself across midcourt. Free throw line extended. Back out to Gravano. A long 3 is off the back of the rim, and McBride goes high for the Mustang board. That's his 7th rebound unofficially. He'll hand it off to Grayson Garver as we approach the 4.5-minute mark from Englewood. Edson on the outside right. Holds the ball on his right hip. Now gets pressured. Left-handed dribble. Looking, spinning, back out to Linker just beyond the timeline. Guarded by Robertson. Jump pass to McBride. McBride inside Edson. He banks it in as Edson got loose to the left of the basket and scores for the first time in the game. And Fort Morgan now leads by 15. Ivory crossing midcourt for Englewood. And with 4:06 to go, what do we have here? I think we had a foul on Linker away from the ball. That's his 3rd. Team 6th. Gravano to throw it in. Gravano looking. Lobs it inside. Intercepted by McBride. Intended for Medrano. McBride the other way. Spins out of traffic. Dribbles it back out. Hands it off to Edson, who gets it to Garver. Under 4 minutes to go. Garver with the basketball on the left wing at the top for Edson. Right side chest pass to Garcia. At the top for McBride, right of the lane, in the lane, and then has the ball stripped out of bounds by Medrano. Mustangs retain possession, 3:46 to go. Fort Morgan 46, Englewood 31. Here comes Raul Salcedo in for Nate Gravano. Garver looking, lobs it to McBride. He puts it up and in. Little alley-oop to McBride. Trey McBride now with 17. Mustangs lead by that many. And Grayson Garver, called for a block. Man, I might have said Garver. Garcia called for a block, and his body went flying about 5 feet backwards. So Brazil to the line for the 1-and-1. Wow. I mean, he went, when I say flying, more like sliding. Free throw by Brazil is off to the left. They're going to say that wasn't a shot? Didn't look like he was shooting. All right, 2nd free throw coming up with 3:38 to go, and Fort Morgan up by 17 in Englewood. And a technical foul is called against the Fort Morgan bench, maybe Coach Trahern. So you're going to have another free throw by Brazil, then 2 more free throws, then possession. I think it was against the Fort Morgan bench, unless it was called on a player, but the official pointed towards the bench. The free throw is short. No, I believe they're putting that foul up there on Garver. So I believe that tech was called on Grayson Garver. Now the tech free throws, and he made that one. I mean, it definitely looked like a charge, but, I mean, you're up by a lot of points here, and that free throw's no good. 1 out of 4 from the line. Well, that score's incorrect. It should say 48-32. It says 48-31. I mean, they're taking a point away from Englewood. Well, we'll go with the score on the board, but it definitely should say 48-32 and not, there you go. Took him a while to put up a single point for a free throw. But anyway, now Englewood has possession. Garver's out of the game. Ortega, McBride, Linker, Garcia, and Edson for Fort Morgan. Brazil with the basketball. Brazil swings it left side for Robertson. Robertson tries to force it inside. Intercepted by McBride, and McBride is fouled at midcourt. 1-on-1 situation. 19th foul. McBride's also played some great defense. Yeah, we might need more than one player of the game here. Foul was committed by Robertson, his second. Hazard is back in, as is Thomas O'Connor. And with 3:27 to go, the game is slowing down a little bit due to the fouling. McBride to the line, Premier Farm Credit, and Sterling, Fort Morgan, Human, Holyoke. Free throw is good. They've been proudly supporting agriculture and rural communities for over 100 years. They've got an awesome cash patronage dividend program. Excellent dividend program. Second free throw, McBride, and that's short. And the ball is tipped around and is taken away by Tyreek Ivory. Ivory at midcourt, loses the ball, taken away by Ortega. And McBride with a two-handed slam! Off the assist from Jacob Ortega. That's the slam McBride was looking for. They lead by 19. 51-32 with 3:08 to go in the game. Straight away three, Salcedo, and he banked it in. 51-35 Fort Morgan. Under 3 minutes to go from Englewood. Ortega over to Edson. Edson on the outside right to Ortega. Dribbles left-handed towards the top of the three-point circle. Now the Mustangs in a weave here. Garcia all the way, left-handed layup up and in. Boy, Garcia put on a move in the lane and scores. He now has 10, his first points of the half. 53-35. Salcedo backs up for a three, and that's off the backside of the rim. And the rebound to Trey McBride, working in a double-double. He's got 20 points and unofficially 8 rebounds. McBride in the corner. The Mustangs up by 18. McBride back out to Garcia. Cross court to Ortega. Ortega dribbles into the lane, back out to McBride. He's not going to take that three. Mustangs are just going to eat up the clock. On the high right here is Caden Edson. Edson with a left-handed dribble. Over to Ortega, just in front of the Mustang bench. On the high left, gets a pick from Linker, hands it off to McBride. Under 2 minutes to go from Englewood. Fort Morgan 53, Englewood 35. Here is Edson, left of the lane, back out to Garcia. Yeah, Fort Morgan in no hurry to shoot. Ortega bounce pass to Garcia. Now to McBride, right baseline. McBride with the basketball. He's pumped about 3 times and now swings it over to Ortega. Back out to Edson. Edson middle of the lane, then he's fouled. Kind of a hard foul, too. Caden Edson to shoot a deuce. That's the 10th-team foul. And that foul was committed by Brazil, his second. Caden Edson, who scored earlier in this quarter, is at the line. First free throw by the sophomore is up, and that is in. 54-35, and it looks like the Mustangs are clearing the bench, or check that right now. Englewood is clearing the bench, and now Fort Morgan is doing so as well. Cardona, Norris, and now Sadinana are in. Ortega remains out there with Edson with 1:35 to go. Free throw by Edson is up, and that's off to the left. And the rebound is into the hands of Gabe Torres. Across the timeline is Taryn Baca. 54-35 Mustangs. Baca trying to get rid of the basketball. Norris knocks it out of bounds, intended for Torres in the left corner. Well, they're going to play hard here for 1:27, considering a lot of these players haven't seen any playing time in this game. Baca for Englewood. Crossover dribble against Edson. Backs it out to Gravano. He has played in this game quite a bit. Gravano left baseline. And then he's fouled by Ortega. That'll be the 19th foul, 1-and-1 situation, as Ortega commits his first. And Nate Gravano to the line. He's yet to score tonight. And now Devin Mussman will check in for Caden Edson. Here we go. Gravano's free throw is up, and that's good. 54-36. We'll have a brief post game. Second free throw is up, and that is in and out. And the ball is loose on the floor. Cardona ties up with Stephen Harris. Possession arrow, Fort Morgan. Let's see if Englewood backs off a little bit on the pressure defense. No, it looks like they are going to pressure. Well, in the backcourt to Sadinana. And then his pass is poked out of bounds by Baca. Oh, this doesn't slow down the game. But then again, these are not starters in there. So if they're just out there for window dressing, it's really not much of an effort. So that's why they want to apply some defense. Mussman across midcourt to Ortega. Now the Mustangs can try to pass and dribble out the clock. Mussman on the outside left, 54 seconds to go. Bounce pass to Sadinana. I mean, it's good basketball if Englewood plays hard defense and doesn't commit a foul, especially down by 18. Cardona in the left corner, and then Cardona nearly had the ball stripped away, and he did, but it was taken by Ortega. Now to Mussman, 36 seconds to go. Cardona now to Ortega just across midcourt, swings it right side to Sadinana. Sadinana in the other corner to Nick Norris, and then the foul's committed. I don't know. That's ridiculous. Foul is committed there by O'Connor, but he was almost committing that foul, not even going for the ball, that is. But nonetheless, it's a two-shot foul there for Nick Norris. Englewood hung in for a long time till the Mustangs started cranking it up late in the third, and Norris misses the free throw, well short. Second free throw coming up for Nick Norris. He bends, he shoots, and he misses off the back of the rim, but Norris grabs the rebound, and then he's fouled. Why is O'Connor fouling? I don't get the fouling here. I mean, the game is over. 26.3 seconds to go, and he's fouled again. I mean, if it's a 7 or 8 point game, you foul, but not down by 18. This free throw is good. Second free throw upcoming for Nick Norris. He could put the Mustangs up by 20, and he does. 56-36. Gravano the other way for Englewood. 22 seconds to go. At the top, into the lane, all the way, scoops it up, and he puts up a wild shot and misses. Ortega grabs the Fort Morgan rebound. I don't know what O'Connor's doing. I have no idea what he's doing, committing 3 fouls with his team down big time in this game, and now Ortega to the line. But we're just extending the game when it's essentially over. But anyway, here's Ortega. And Ortega to shoot 2. And the free throw's up and off the back of the rim. Well, it will give Englewood another possession. Second free throw for Jacob Ortega is up, and that is in and out. And Cardona grabs the rebound, and then he's fouled over there by Stephen Harris. Wow. Give me patience. All right, so now Cardona will shoot the double bonus. Yeah, we've had 4 fouls committed here in the last 30 seconds on a game that's well over. Free throw by Cardona is good. Yeah, it's just making the margin of victory even larger for Fort Morgan. They're up by 21. Second free throw is off the back of the rim, and the ball is rebounded by Torres. If I'm Fort Morgan, I back up about 1,000,000 feet. Wouldn't even play defense at this point because the game is over. Don't even try to commit a foul. Gravano backs up for a 3, and that's off the right side of the rim. And the game is over. The Fort Morgan Mustangs come to Englewood and win the game 57-36. Let's take a 3-minute break. Actually, a 2-minute break. We're back in 2 minutes, and we'll wrap it up after this on B106 and B106.com. Mustang post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, there to help you imagine, believe, and achieve your goals. That's Morgan Community College. The Mustangs defeat Englewood tonight 57-36 in Englewood. Fort Morgan led 17-7 after one, but Englewood kept fighting in the second and third quarters. It was 27-23 as Englewood outscored Fort Morgan 16-10 in the second, but then the Mustangs opened it up in the second half, outscoring Englewood 30-13 on their way to the 21-point victory. Visiting Mustangs got 20 points tonight from Trey McBride, 12 of those in the second half, 10 from Luis Garcia. Grayson Garver set the tone early with 9 points. He finished with 13 in the game. 4 apiece for Isaac Linker and Braden McAllister. Caden Edson scored 3, 2 for Nick Norris, and a free throw for Adam Cardona. Meanwhile, for the hometown Pirates, they were led by Brock Bazile. The point guard scored 16 points. He was the majority of the offense. In fact, nearly 50% of the points. 6 points in the game for Tyreek Ivory, 5 for Josiah Hazard, and then trifectas by Raul Saucedo and Thomas O'Connor. Isaac Medrano scored 2 and a free throw for Nate Gravano. The Mustangs out-rebounded the Pirates 23-17. McBride led Fort Morgan with 8, and Medrano led Englewood with 6. Turnovers a big issue. Englewood had 13 in the opening quarter of their 29. Fort Morgan unofficially with 15 turnovers. And from the free throw line, neither team shot well. Englewood was under 40%. They were 5 out of 13. The Mustangs were exactly at 40%. They were 8 out of 20. The Mustangs with a victory, 5-1 in Colorado 7 league play, 7-10 overall. They've won 4 straight. And Englewood drops to 1-2 in league play, 3-11 on the season. Mustangs are back in action coming up on Friday. Doubleheader on B106 and B106.com. The girls game at 5:30. Boys game at 7 o'clock against Weld Central in Fort Morgan. Time for the Mustang Player of the Game, brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick, serving Northeast Colorado, located in Fort Morgan and Sterling. They've got a great selection of new and used vehicles. Stop by and take a test drive. Transwest Chevrolet Buick. And it'll be a co-player of the game here. Trey McBride with 20 points and 8 rebounds. And Isaac Linker, outstanding defense, took some charges. Also had 4 rebounds in the game. And really, he set the tone defensively. He did score only 2 points, or make it 4. But Isaac Linker and Trey McBride, the co-players of the game for the Mustangs tonight. Outstanding job, as always, by our sound engineer and producer, Isaac Greenwood. I'm John Beltran with a final score from Englewood. The Mustangs of Fort Morgan 57, Englewood 36 on B106 and B106.com.